Well, hello, golfers. Chris here, and this is The Game. The goal of this podcast is to help you lower your score in the shortest amount of time possible without spending a fortune on lessons, clubs, or gimmicks. Our aim is to help you improve your mind, body, and skill so you can become a single-digit handicapper. And we want you to be able to do it all on your own, teaching yourself the game. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast this week. My name is Chris and I am here with our tamed golf pro, Richard Guzzo.
Yeah.
Whom actually has a pet crocodile, a saltwater croc, in his backyard. How long is it, Rich?
Yeah, it's about 6-footer. I mean, we don't mess with the freshwater stuff around here.
So how long do those get?
About 13, 14.
So,
we'll see.
Yeah, what do you feed it?
My son.
That'll lasted about 5 minutes.
The neighbors.
So this week's podcast is about 100 yards and in, and for most amateurs, that is a guessing game, guessing about which club to use, how much strength to apply to the ball, and I think that's where maybe people go wrong, is trying to hit it softer, like a little baby, like you just holding your baby. Oh, I'm going to hit a little 20-yard pitch shot. No, that's not going to work for you. So Rich has got some tips on that, controlling your distances better. And, honestly, what good is being a great putter if you can't even get the ball onto the dancing mat? So, Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about this drill that we're going to actually show them a video of?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is we always hear about golfers, and it doesn't matter what level you are. It's amateur, elite, professional. They will complain about certain part of their game. And whether it be wedge play, I mean, I couldn't hit the green from 100 yards or whatever it is, they'll complain about it. It's very easy to complain about it, but they don't have a game plan or a strategy to get better. They might have a bad wedge day, and then they'll go just slap a couple of balls on the driving range with a wedge, and that's really it. So I've come up with a step drill.
And, this drill that you're about to teach us, I've never seen anybody really teach. And to me, it's kind of like the holy grail of 100 yards and in, because if you can master this one drill, just this one drill, and you get really good at these different yardages, man, your score is going to drop.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. I mean, and the thing about this drill is there's no technique or anything to it. It's not like I'm having you swing a certain way. It's just programming your brain to function with certain distance and the club, and just really just muscle memory. So we're going to show a clip that will cover basically what I want you to do. It's a 9-step drill, 10-yard increments, all the way from 20 yards to 100 yards. And it's just assessing your game to start with. You're going to hit 10 balls from each location and then go to count your average. So we'll roll into a clip right now.
Rich Guzzo here with golfaggressive.com, and today's focus is going to be on providing you with a simple yet highly effective step drill for distance control with your wedges. And we found that to be the key benefit to lowering your golf scores. So what I have here is 2 stations. In the setup that I will outline, it will be 9 stations, and it'll be from 20 yards to 100 yards. And really it's focusing on that distance control. So it could be whether you've hit a 300-yard drive and you've got 100 yards in and you want to capitalize on getting that up and down for birdie, or it could be you've hit it in the junk, you've pitched out to 80 yards and you want to get up and down for par. This is the zone that's going to be crucial to lowering your golf scores. So down below in the notes, I've got a link to download the worksheet, and you'll print that out and take it to the course. I've got 2 stations right here at 90 and 80, and behind the camera I've got 100 yards, and I've got my flag with my target. So best thing is to laser this off. That way you have exact measurements. I've got 10 balls on each station. Now what that's going to do is provide me a very good average on and assess my game at where it's at right now. The improvement component of this is a few things. One is you hear a lot of golfers and elite golfers as well, they complain about their game. And what you'll find is they don't have, or they don't diverse a strategy in order to get better. So this step drill is, one, a plan, but it also, once you do it over once a week or 2 to 3 times a month, you progressively get better because you know your swing sequences in certain distances. So 10 balls per each target. You'll hit to a flag, and you're going to record the landing point for this assessment. You can do another assessment down the road that will measure rollout. A few things to note with that is you're going to try and get a replica of an actual green. I'm on the driving range here, so most of our targets are just placed on a lightly mown fairway. So I might go to the green to my left here and hit shots and look at the rollout and measure it that way. If you have a good mate, have him stand out by the flag and with 10 tees in his pocket, and each time the ball lands, mark it with a tee, and that will give you an exact measurement. Because this is the game. I mean, if we can knock it to 6-8 feet all the time within this range, this is where we're going to see your scores lower. So I've got the links down below for the worksheet. I'm going to map this out for you. 9 points, 10-yard increments, 10 balls per point. We're going to take your average, and then we're going to assess where you're at, and then every time you do this, we'll progressively see your proximity to the hole decrease. So this is the step drill. I look forward to seeing your results with this one, and hearing your comments down below, or even on our Facebook page, and seeing how this progresses with your golf game.
Okay, so great tip right there. And some of you guys may be wondering, where are you going to do this at? Obviously, you can do this at the driving range. Rich had a couple of suggestions on stakes that you could put out there, or flags with the help of the Golf Pro, kind of like what you saw at the Masters. But if you have trouble, you don't have a good range, because I know some ranges are just slammed with people all the time. You can't get out there and walk on them. My suggestion is to do this drill on a football field, because it's 100 yards. I mean, what's better than that? And it's broken down into 10-yard increments. It's all marked completely. Now, some caveats from playing football. There's all kinds of different grass heights. Some teams that are slow will grow their grass high if they're playing a fast team, because it slows the fast team down.
I think, with that, we should put a disclaimer saying we're not responsible for a football coach beating the shit out of you for taking.
Hey, I don't think the football coach has got a chance with the guy with the 9-iron. I mean, let's look at Tiger Woods. What happened to him?
Yeah,
at the end of a 9-iron.
Yeah, I mean, where this is going to be done for the first assessment, if you're working on the assessment on landing point only, proximity to the hole, anywhere is possible. When you're trying to take this to the next level and look at exactly rollout, that's when it's going to be where you need to replicate it on actual greens. And that could be where you need to take it to the golf course and just go around on a golf cart and just try not to go on every single hole, because you'll dig up so much of the grass, but just move it around to where you can get the replica of real greens, real golf balls, not driving range balls. So for the first assessment, really just anywhere that you can make this work. It's a game plan for you. It's a strategy. It's programming your mind. So you need to just figure it out. Figure out what works at your driving range, or if you need to go somewhere else. But this is the next step in order to lower your golf scores. And this could be from, you're pounding those 300-yard drives and you got 100 yards in and you want to get up and down for birdie. Or it could be you've hit it in the crap and you're punching out to 80 and you're just trying to get up and down for par. So if you can dial those distances down, get the averages down, that's where we're going to see you lower your scores. So I think we've got a few ways we can challenge them this week. I'm going to provide them with the worksheet. So I suggest, it really depends on your time. I think if you ultimately want this area of your game to improve, doing this drill once a week is something that you'll need to incorporate into your practice.
I think even more than that starting out. I think once a week, once you have got it down pretty good. You know what I mean? So I think, in fact, this week's challenge, here's the challenge. I'll just give it to you now.
Yeah.
This week's challenge involves a practice session and a pressure test after each range session for this drill. So by that, I want you to go out this week and practice a total of 3 different times. So you're going to set a benchmark the first time using the pressure test. So basically the pressure test, you're going to play 9 holes of varying distance. So this will be from your driving range or your football field. So you're just going to randomly pick 3 different yardages. It could be 30, 60, 90, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, any combination of the 10-yard increments. So you're going to play 9 holes randomly, and you're going to keep score. If you're within 10 yards, or actually 5 yards ahead or 5 yards behind, that's a point. If you're outside of that zone, that's a 0 point. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep score, and you're going to try to beat that score the next time you go out. So for your practice session, before you do the pressure test, we want you to work the ladder up and down. So you'll start at 10 yards, and then you'll go to 20, then you'll go to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then back it down, and then do your pressure test.
Yeah, and you can use
challenge.
Yeah, you can use any golf club with this. I think in our red zone challenge, we really want them to focus on one club so that they can master the swing versus the distance. But for this particular challenge, or the assessment, the distance for the wedge control, any club. So I have a 60 and a 52 in my bag. So for me, it would be the 20 to 60 yard, I'm using the 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, I'm using my 52. So this will vary, but you're welcome to use any club. On the worksheet, you'll be able to write down which one that is. So I think down below, or if you listen on the podcast, we're going to provide some links on our website. We'll have 2 worksheets. We'll have one for your distance control, and then we'll have 2, the actual pressure testing worksheet. So we'll want you to download those, take them to the range or wherever you decide to do this, and then snap a photo of it and post it to our Facebook page. That way we can all see your progress.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Now, Rich, we've covered the clubs. You're going to use 2 different clubs for yours. Let's talk about backswing length, because this is a big problem that I see mainly in chipping. So if you walk around the chipping green and you see the hackers chipping it, they have a little short chip, and they like take this backswing, and then they almost kind of like cradle the baby in, and they're just trying to like help it along, and it's not really, they're not getting that contact. So why don't you explain backswing length on this drill?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to vary from which distance you go to, but you always want to take the shorter backswing and the followed through, making sure you accelerate through. So this will vary from the distance that you're at, but that's going to be the key. That's the programming component of this drill set, is you need to know where to stop. We'll put a disclaimer on the fact that this is something that over the ball you don't want to be thinking too much about. So you want to make sure that before you go, and it could be prior to your pre-shot routine, you're working on that position. And whether it be, okay, I'm at the 50-yard distance, and I am looking at, say a 9 o'clock swing, or maybe just a little bit past that 10 o'clock swing. So I'll stop at the 10 o'clock swing just before it, just to mimic it. And then I'll roll into my pre-shot routine with the thought of nice, smooth backswing and accelerating through the ball. Try not to pick it up, because that's the big miss, is you're trying to scoop it. So
is that Hank Haney's big miss?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's everyone's big miss. I mean, everyone's trying to just scoop it up, and then
ice cream.
That's the difficult component, is that it's stopping your swing at certain points, because a lot of people just aren't able to do it. So they'll take that full swing, and in order to judge the distance, they're slowing it down. It needs to be the other way. So
and it's almost like you need to get a mirror to actually see what it looks like and what it feels like. So kind of program yourself in front of a mirror different swing lengths and then hit a ball. You know, you're going to look like a goofball out at the driving range doing this. But, you know, if you can do it in your backyard just for short distances and just get a feel for, you know, what that looks like and what it feels like, because me personally, I used to overswing quite a bit. And, you know, I've had like great flexibility. You know, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little less flexibility, but you know, I used to overswing big time, but it only felt like I was going to parallel. But, you know, I was going way past that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. 9 times out of 10 golfers will think that they're at a certain position in their swing, but when they're actually over the ball, most likely past it. So you need someone to look at it on an actual swing basis. You can look at a mirror and say, okay, this is where it's at. But when you get over a ball and you're swinging there and you feel like, oh, I'm right there. If you have someone validate that by looking at you when you're hitting a shot, you most likely, instead of being here, you go to here.
Yeah.
So you have to know your limitations. And if that's a tendency, you don't have to, you know, extremely work so hard to fix that. Just know that when you're here, it's here in the swing. So when you're trying to swing here, make sure you swing into here. So
right.
So yeah, so you need to just kind of look, and I always like to have someone give me a visual on that versus looking at a mirror, because I don't know, sometimes the tendencies are to swing longer than it is.
You know, I mean, not to bullshit anybody here, but if you could get this completely down to where you're pretty accurate and you're shooting in the 90s and you go through this and you can reliably get within the area, rough area, you're going to knock 10 strokes off your game.
Easy.
I mean, it's going to be a massive improvement, because instead of chipping from off the green, which you're probably going to decelerate anyway, as we talked about, you're going to be putting, and everybody is a much better putter, you know, than a chipper, I would think. So just go out there, do the challenge 3 times this week. Let us know your results. We're going to put everything up online for you, which brings me also to, Rich, we have a giveaway. Why don't you tell everybody about our giveaway this week and how they can enter themselves?
Yeah, time to get rid of that Walmart special. So yeah, go to our Facebook page at Golf Aggressive. We'll put a link to that as well. But if you can just type Golf Aggressive into Facebook, there is a link on there for a free putter giveaway. And it will be a Scotty Cameron, any Scotty Cameron you want, up to the value of $350. So from now up until the end of May, you could submit your entry. I think you have to like the page as well. So it's really just put your name, your email, like the page, and that's it. It's free. So at the end of the month, we'll pick a lucky winner.
Yeah, and our last winner, he was just so ecstatic. He took all kinds of photos. I'll dig those up and put them online, but he was like holding it next to his face. He was like so excited. He stayed home from work that day, I think, too.
We might even
sure he didn't miss the delivery.
Yeah, we might even let them use the term "father flat stick."
No, that's not going to happen. I can't even believe you would bring that up. But I also wanted to give a shout out this week to Larry Horry, who is in our Red Zone Challenge, and he, the other night, I think it was maybe last night, went out and shot. He started out 8 pars, and then he birdied the 9th hole, which for him is a tremendous round, and it's a huge breakthrough, and he's been working on it for quite some time. But he also mentioned that our whole system here and our thought process is what kind of got him over the hump. And, you know, he had been messing with, I don't know, gadgets and stuff like that, Rich.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. It's a great accomplishment. You know, it goes back to what the whole purpose of this step drill is giving them a strategy, a game plan, so that when they go to the range, it's fulfilled. So many times you go to the range and just hit balls for the hell of it, just to stay loose, basically. But you know, with all of our challenges that we have, we give each of the golfers a purpose to go to the range. There's a game plan. There's a end result or a end goal to each of the components that we promote. So yeah, I'm real happy for Larry. It's great that we've seen that, and we've seen that with a lot of our golfers through the challenges. I think the Red Zone Challenge right now, they're in week 3 or 4. So in another week or 2, we'll do another assessment, and we can see their gains that are progressing through this one.
You know, it's a great lead in too, also because next month we're going to be doing, or maybe it's later this month, we're going to be doing the No More 3-Putts Challenge. So we went from driving to 100 yards and in, and now we're going to do putting. So Larry is going to be deadly.
Yeah, well, you know what I found funny about the whole thing is, you know, he's not told his buddies what he's doing. So,
he's like this guy. He's like, I'm not telling those crazy assholes anything.
Yeah. And that's, the thing is, you can tell your buddies about this, because more than likely they're not going to want to put the work in. I don't know how many times I've got golfers that I play with that just they hit a few balls before the round if they're lucky, and they just don't do anything. They would rather go buy a new club than spend an extra couple of buckets on the driving range to improve a certain problem with their swing. So,
yeah, that's the thing. It's sweat equity. Whenever you were younger, and you were learning the game, you worked a lot harder at it than you do now. And it's understandable with everything that's going on in life, but I mean, turn off your damn cell phone and just go out there and practice with a purpose. And that's what this drill is going to do for you. It's going to give you a purpose, and it's actually a challenge. It's going to be fun, and you're going to see results immediately, way faster than you're going to see with any driver that you buy or ball that you buy, because that's all just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, Jack Nicklaus was busting 300-yard drives back in the 60s with persimmon woods, and just basically what we would consider junk. So it's not really the club that's going to make you better. It's the sweat equity. So get out there, try this drill this week. I would be shocked if you don't improve a few strokes by the end of the week. So just hit us up on Facebook. Let us know. And happy to have you on this podcast. I am Chris, and I am joined by Rich.
The secret to a better golf game isn't a bigger club, it's a smaller you. Studies have proven that you can add 20-plus yards to your driver and 10-plus yards to your irons by increasing your lean muscle mass and decreasing body fat. All you need is 32 minutes a day to improve your golf game, and we'll help you do it. Go to golfthin.com now to see how quickly and easily you can lose fat and lower your handicap in as little as 2 weeks. Get the ultimate advantage at golfthin.com.